Hey everyone. Well, I wanted to make this video because the suite that's in the new mini catalog, the holiday mini catalog, this is what I always call it, Oh Holy Night. It is really one of the prettiest suites I've ever seen in my life. The paper is gorgeous, the sentiments are wonderful, and the dies are fantastic. The suite is huge. You can, if you get the whole suite, you get 2 stamps, 2 dies, 2 things of paper, ribbon, and what else do you get? Trinkets. A lot of the stuff is on back ordered. I hate to say that, but it is. But it looks like it's going to be in plenty of time before Christmas time is here. So I wanted to show you this card right here. Let me see if I can pull it up so you can see it a little better. Those stars are embossed. Now, what it has, one of the stamps, the Stars at Night, it has, its dies are the hybrid folder, okay? So, excuse me, it has a hybrid folder, so it works a little differently, and so I'm going to show you. I'll just show you the basics of it, but I'm also going to show you how I did this, and I'll show you another card that is like the same technique. All right, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to make the stars. That's the most important part. Okay, so I'm going to show you the stamps. Here's the hybrid folder right here. The stamps, Stars at Night, which is the one that coordinates with this, and then the Night Divine, which is all the sentiments, which we're using both on this card. Here's the one that coordinates with the Night Divine. Just really, really pretty. And then here's the stars ones. So there is a die that fits inside the hybrid folder. That's what a hybrid folder means, is that you can emboss and die at the same time. So the side that has the Stampin' Up! Logo on it, you see when you put them in there, you can hear kind of a click. It's not like in there real good, but it's not moving. And so I'm just gonna get a piece of paper and show you what it looks like when you just die cut it like that, when you run it through and die cut it. Okay, this is Misty Moonlight. It's not gonna be big enough for it, but I just had that sitting right there. So I'm just gonna show you. This is not how we're doing it for this card, but I just wanna show you. So, all right, so it's obviously a 3D embossing folder, so you have to change your, let's just do it this way. I had it right the first time. Okay, seam side first, and then this embossing, or this plate, which it feels weird because you are die cutting and embossing, but you still use it as, you're putting it through as it was an embossing folder. All right, so here we go. See that? It's all embossed. I mean, really cool. And it die cuts it at the same time. So that's what a hybrid folder can do. You can just use it as an embossing folder. You don't have to do all of it, but that's one way to do it. Okay, so what we're gonna do to make my gold stars, I'm gonna die cut it later. I'm not gonna die cut it at the same time. Here, I'm gonna use Versamark. I have a sponge dauber that I use just for Versamark. And here's my paper that I'm putting through. This is 5 inches by 5.5. The way that they're not at the same level and everything, it has to be kind of big. This is a big embossing folder, so if you're making your standard size card, you're not gonna get everything on there. I'm gonna put this behind it. See if you, well, let's see. Let's try to. Okay, so I'm inking this up. Oh, wait. Sorry, I'm doing it on the wrong side. I got to do it on this side. Sorry, the one with Stampin' Up! Logo. Yeah, this suite is just really one of the prettiest I've ever seen. I have made so many cards. I do have a PDF for it. I'll show you the cards at the end of this video. But I've made other things, not just cards. I've made like display things with it. I mean, just so pretty. The metallic paper, which we're using some of it on this card. Oh my goodness. Okay, so my embossing buddy here. Let's see. Ooh. Okay, my embossing buddy. Need that embossing buddy when you live in Florida. For sure. So I'm putting it on this side. Make sure I got those stars in there. Okay. And again, I'm gonna run it through. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? I mean, that's pretty on its own. But what we're doing is we're going to emboss it. This is gold embossing powder. See? You're gonna get a little more on them than, because with the sponge dauber and everything, it's getting some of the Versamark like there and there and there, which is not typical. Doesn't typically would show any ink on it or anything, but because you're using a sponge dauber, and it would just be really hard not to get some of that. But I think it looks, all right, get one of my tools to get some of that off of there. All right. I don't need it on these things either. I'm gonna have to start over because I took some away from the wrong place. We can cover that up if it's got too much ink, too much embossing powder not in the right spot. We can cover that up because it's kind of covered up on the card anyway. All right, so here is my tool, heat tool. There it goes. I know a lot of this is back ordered, including the hybrid folder dies. But from what I've seen, it should be in plenty of time before Christmas season is here. So that's good. That way you can still get it. If you don't already have it, you can still order it and get it in time to make your Christmas cards. All right, there's a few things that are back ordered. Okay, so right, pretty. Okay, so now we're gonna die cut it. You are gonna flatten the embossing a little bit, putting it back through the machine, because that's the way it goes. But it's still gonna look so good. There we go. Get my nice clear plate that I use for my videos so you can see what I'm doing. of course I need tape. You can, I've done it both ways where I inked up the embossing folder and I put the dies in it and then ran it through so that they're die cut and they have the Versamark on them. They're just a little harder to emboss, like put in your embossing powder and to hold it carefully so you don't rub any of it off. So you could do it the other way, but I thought this was a little easier. Okay. And there is our pretty, pretty stars. Isn't that not so cool? I've done in coloring on embossing folders many, many times. And I think I have done in like, colored it with Versamark. I don't know if I have or not, but maybe it's been so long I don't remember. Okay, so see, aren't those cool? Really cool. All right, so besides that, okay, let's do the sentiment, and then I'm going to show you how I do. You don't see it a whole lot, but the little frame that's behind there, I'll show you that too. Okay, oh, look at that. I got embossing powder all over this. It never, you just can't, I don't know, you just can't spill some. I don't know. But, I mean, as much as I make cards, I mean, I make lots of cards. Embossing powder lasts a long time. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to use Glory to God in the Highest. I'm just going to Night of Navy on Very Vanilla. Okay, and we're going to use Stylish Shapes. You guys, I've told you, you've got to, this is one of the ones I think everybody should own. All right, get some more, let's see. Here it is. Okay, there we go. Put that down. Die cut that in a minute. And then I have this piece of Night of Navy, and this is the radiating dies. They are online only, but they're really good. And so what I do to make a frame, oh, of course it's not big enough. I thought it would be. All right, let's do this one. And then I'll get another piece of Night of Navy. Make sure it's the right size. Okay. So there's our sentiment. And Night of Navy, I've got it right here. So let's see if I got, will this work? Oh my gosh, look at that. It's like perfect. Okay, so what you do for frames, I do this on so many cards because I love frames. So here's this one. So I'll show you what it looks like when you, that must be where I did the other one for the original card. All right, so when you do that one, that's what it looks like, okay? It's got some lines on it, really cool. So what I do to make it like a frame which you could just put everything, for like this card, you could just put everything right on top of that. But I like, because the paper that we're using, the background paper is so pretty, I wanted to let you see as much of that as possible. So here's the next size, and you put it in the middle. You just center it like as best you can. I mean, it's gonna look good. But I do that with the deckled rectangles. I do it with the stylish shapes. You can do all kinds of frames and stuff with that. You die cut the big one, and then you die cut the middle of it out with a smaller one. So there you go. There's our frame. Okay? And then just save your paper for something else someday. But I don't know. We had, Stampin' Up! Had several dies like last year that had frames on them, and I love frames, and so I owned all of them. And then most of them retired, but that's the way it goes. All right, so here we go. Look at that paper. Oh my gosh, Night of Navy, very vanilla. So we're just gonna start putting this thing together. We're gonna use, first thing I'm gonna do is put on my frame. Just sort of center it. There we go. Sorry. All right. Well, that works well. Okay. And then we're going to put our stars on, and they are on dimensionals. I think I just had, I don't think I put any on the edges of them. I didn't. So just ones in the middle. Get it all the way to the top. Do it that way. That top looks prettier than the other one. Okay, and then the smallest one. There, and the medium one. Yeah. Put that one down there. And then this is on dimensionals. Oh gosh. Okay. Just gonna throw that one away. That didn't go the way I wanted. All right. Lots of dimensionals on this. You want it over the top of them, slightly hanging off the bottom. No, move it. Make it more center. Okay, and then the ribbon. Once again, really, really pretty ribbon. Everything in this suite is just, it's just so pretty. So I'm trying to make this fast, see if I could do it. Kind of smush that a little. There we go. I do a lot of ribbon too, like on a fork, if you've ever heard of that. Like, I forget what it's, that's how you, I think that's how I did that one, but we're just gonna do this one like this. Okay, and then I just use glue dots for that. I might fix that a little bit, make it look a little better, but, and then here, we're just gonna do the whole thing. And I'll show you the card that I did the embossing, but not the die cutting. And then the cards that I've got as my PDF for the Oh Holy Night. All right, there we go. Look at that. Is that not just such a cool little card? I mean, not even, I don't know why you use the word cool, but just a wonderful card. I mean, very Christmassy and very, you know, a great statement and a great sentiment. All right, so let's see. All right, so here we go. I did this one where I embossed, and I did a lot of them on the embossing folder, and then with Versamark, like I did this one, and then I just embossed it. I didn't die cut it or anything. So kind of a cool, different type of way to do it. Look at all the glitter everywhere. Every time I use ribbon like this, and then I go, I saw somewhere in the house, I see my husband, and he's like, "You met at a club?" Yeah, no. Okay, so anyway, so that's another way to do it. Without the die cutting, you could do it. All right, so now I'm going to show you the 4 cards that I have a PDF for. The PDF, I have several. They're all, every single one has 4 cards. And so you get the measurements, pictures, all the supplies used with links, and then also step-by-step instructions. Okay, so pretty nice. All right, so there's one. There's the second one. There we go. More stars. Merry Christmas. And then this one. So lots of fancy paper used on those cards, and different, you know, obviously a manger scene, and then also stars. So they're all, you know, a little bit different. So I'll have a link to those specifically when I post this picture with the video and everything. All right, so if anybody has any questions, let me know. I hope everyone's having a great day. See ya.